Hi, are you doing anything? I owe you the details about this wall system from Triton. I needed a wall system that could combine the ability to store some wooden materials, longboards, slats, planks, etc. At the same time, I wanted to create a shelving system. And most importantly, it needs to be versatile. My workshop is like a living organism that is constantly changing and evolving. I'm just not the type to design something, lay it out, and then have it that way for the rest of my life. So I also wanted this system to be something I could change freely in the future. In the past, I made something similar myself, which is behind me here. It's made from old large paneling boards that weren't very well processed. So while the material was of good quality, it wasn't suitable for paneling. So among other things, I made this out of them. It was quite labor intensive, but I think it looks nice and it works. And when I saw that this one system costs around $1,200, I thought that with today's prices, it's like the price of iron, so it wouldn't be worth it for me to make it myself anymore. So I went ahead and got 4 of those systems. They are always one on top of the other. When it arrived and I unpacked it, I was a bit surprised because I found that the crossbars are at a slight angle to the vertical supports, sloping towards the wall. Well, it makes sense because when you store some materials there, or even rods, they could slide down or roll away. So I thought to myself, oh my gosh, this might not be ideal for the shelves. And then I wondered, does it really matter? I will be putting toolboxes, various accessories, boxes, etc. there. So I threw in some boards I had lying around and piled everything on top of them. And I found out that it actually doesn't matter at all. I placed the vertical beams 1 meter apart. Here on the right, they are a bit closer together because I have mixed masonry here and I couldn't drill it the way I envisioned on the first try. I tried to salvage it with chemical mortar, but it didn't work. So I just drilled new holes 5 centimeters closer. So here it is, roughly 95. The beams aren't very visible now because it's nicely filled up. And that's exactly what I was aiming for. I needed to get the things that were scattered around here onto that wall. My workshop has almost exactly 30 square meters of floor space, which is not small, but it's definitely not a lot either. So those vertical storage spaces are really useful for me. Sometimes someone tells me that they can't afford it because it would get terribly dusty. I always say, what's the difference between having it lying here on the tables and various surfaces or having it on the wall? It gets dusty just the same. In fact, I'd say that up there it might even get a little less dusty. But mainly this isn't a professional workshop, it's a DIY one. So there's definitely less dust here than in a workshop where people work 8 hours a day. I also have pretty good dust extraction here and I use it consistently. And the things I don't want to get dusty, I keep in cabinets. It's not like I'm going to take everything out of the cabinets and throw it on the walls so you can see everything I have here. Regarding the installation itself, I used pedestal screws with a dowel diameter of 10 mm and a depth of 80 mm. The pedestal screws have a diameter of 6 mm and a length of 120 mm. First, you need to mount all the crossbeams onto the vertical one and only then mount the whole assembly onto the wall. If you did it the other way around, you might not be able to slide the crossbeams in afterward. All the beams are made of steel box sections, coated with powder paint and fitted with plastic caps. And you will definitely be interested in the load capacity. The load capacity of one shelf is 50 kilograms, and there are a total of 6 shelves on this system, so it can hold 300 kilograms. If you install the system up to the ceiling like I did and have a high ceiling, mine is over 3 meters, you will obviously need some kind of step stool or possibly a ladder to reach the higher levels. Therefore, I recommend placing the items you use frequently lower down and putting the items you don't use as often higher up. You can find the link to the wood storage system from Triton in the description below the video, and after these brief experiences, I can only recommend it. It not only met my expectations, but even exceeded them. You can see that it's completely full. Thanks for watching, take care, and keep doing something.